Hi guys, welcome to week 3 of English 1A. Oddly enough, even though we're just starting week 3, this is like midterms technically for summer session. We do not have a midterm this week, so don't panic. Our midterm or our exam is not until next week because I wanted to make sure you learned a lot first. So let's talk a little bit about this third week. And I am sorry you can hear my baby in the background. I keep trying to make videos for you guys, and he's being intense today, which is why the video is turned off. Okay, so here is our home page. Please notice I have a little flyer up here for you about how to get free online tutoring. You are working, hopefully, on that narrative paper, revising it for me. So talk to the online tutors, get some feedback from them. Hopefully you got a lot of good feedback in that discussion area last week. If you haven't already done so, go back to that peer review and pull up what your friends and classmates had to say about your paper, because hopefully everybody posted by last night. So get some comments from them, get some comments from the tutors, and then by the end of this week, you need to submit your final draft into our assignment area. So, gosh, mine never really looks like yours, I don't think. If I were to go to that narrative, where is it? I've got too many things here. Here we go. If I were to go to the narrative assignment, I can start it. Here's the instructions. I can copy and paste my paper right here, or I can upload an attachment right there. I heard from some of you that you already submitted. So what I did is I just reopened this box so that you can resubmit a second time. Don't submit more than twice, because then that'll be it. So once you finish, then it's done and it's ready to be graded. I am not going to grade any of those until after the due date, which again is the 3rd. So once that due date passes, that's when I'll be grading the assignment. So if you did accidentally already submit an assignment, don't worry, you can redo it this week. So that's one assignment. Our next assignment this week is a journal. So let me go back to our assignments. And Unit 3 journal. You know, I'm not looking at it like you guys do. I wish I could go in as a student. Here it is. Okay, so here's the journal. I begin it, and it's based upon the reading assignments this week. So we are done with Sylvia Plath, and now we're looking at short stories. And I know this looks like a lot, but these are all only 2 to 3 pages. Some maybe are 4 pages. They're not very long, and they're all in our Bedford Guide textbook. So please make sure you read through those, and then you're able to respond here in the journal area. You can just type it right here, or again, upload an attachment. This is worth just as much as your essay was last week's, or I guess it's this week. So please make sure you put a lot of emphasis in this. It doesn't have to be formal language. It's not an essay. It doesn't need an introduction or conclusion, but it does have 2 parts. The first one, you're going to talk about the cause and effect of one of these stories, one of the problems in these stories. For example, America's War on the Overweight. Well, after reading that, what do you think are the causes explained in this paper about people being overweight? And then what do you think are the effects of people being overweight? And then part 2, you're going to compare and contrast 2 of these readings. So again, if you had America's War on the Overweight, maybe you're going to compare that to is Facebook making us sad? Because maybe Facebook makes us overweight because we sit at the computer all day. But you don't have to compare them for content. You're just going to compare them as far as the writing style. What did you think? Which one did you like better? What was the tone of voice like? What was the language like? What was the sentence structure like? So make sure that you understand how to compare and contrast, and you're going to do that by A, reading our Bedford Guide, and B, reading my lectures. So now that I've talked about the 2 assignments for this week, let's talk about our lectures. So I always go to modules. I am going to go to Unit 3, and again, it's on the modes of writing. I can see all of the assignments, which I just talked about, but you see those again. Our first lecture is on cause and effect writing. So again, read this, look at my examples, see how you go through an outline, and again, you can read more about this in the Bedford Guide, Chapter 8. Next lecture is on compare and contrast writing. Notice there are two different ways to compare and contrast, and this is what you need to be aware of for your journal. So you can follow the point-by-point format or the subject-by-subject format. Remember, your journal is not an essay. You don't need an introduction. You don't need a conclusion. You don't need to have 3 full body paragraphs, but you do need to either write subject 1, subject 2, or main point 1, main point 2, whatever it is that you're going to follow. You can watch this lecture here on compare and contrast writing, which is just one that I've used in my regular 1A classes. So, but that'll give you an idea. We're not writing a compare and contrast essay, but that will give you an idea of how to do one. This next lecture is on determining credibility because we need to start using sources. So as we move throughout the class in our discussion areas and on the assignments, I want to see you start adding sources. Now, that's not for the narrative essay that's due this week. This is for what we're going to start turning in the future. So make sure you understand how to evaluate sources and then how to use sources in a paper. This particular lecture is going to help you with our discussion assignment this week. So it's really important that you read this and understand it. And notice I have an example here for you. So I explained that you can summarize, paraphrase, or quote a source. I use different colors to show you how I added those MLA citations. So again, make sure you go through that. And then we'll go to our discussion area. And once again, we have 2 discussions open this week. Let's talk about the cause and effect one first. This one is student-led because I want you guys just to be able to talk about these, again, these reading assignments together, so it will help you with the journal. So the more you guys talk together, the easier it's going to be for you to work on the journal entry for me this week. And then I'll go back. Again, Unit 3. This is the one on using sources. So again, if you haven't read my lecture, it's going to be hard for you to do this discussion. So you're going to pick one of the stories in our book this week. You're going to write a 1-paragraph summary of the complete story. So everything that happened that was a major event in that story. Then you're going to select 1 paragraph from the story. So pick one out, tell me which one it is, and you're going to paraphrase that 1 paragraph. That means you're going to have a whole paragraph that's rewritten in your own words. And then you're going to show me how to quote an important line from that story. And again, you're going to have proper citations in MLA format at the bottom of your post. So when all is said and done, I'll have 1 paragraph, 2 paragraphs, a quote from you, and a works cited entry. So this is at least 2 paragraphs plus those 2 lines. So it's not a lot. You can do it, but I want to see that you know how to use sources before we move on to next week when we begin working on writing research papers. So please let me know if you're having problems with this. I will make sure that I give you guys some more lectures on MLA format, but go through this, see what you can do. This is not a student-led discussion. I'm going to be in here every day with you guys to make sure you are on the right track. All right, so that was a lot to go over, but I think you're on the right track. And again, I am starting the week 2 grades now and hope to have them done by Wednesday. All right, guys, let me know if you run into any problems. Thank you.